Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, it's your girl here, Erica Sacoccio, and I am recording from little old Warwick, Rhode Island. And as always, I love to give shout outs to my amazing listeners, and today's no different. So, thank you for listening, Melbourne, Victoria, Brisbane, Queensland. I'm going to get this one wrong. Fagerville, Texas, Baltimore, Maryland, Clifton Park, New York, Peekskill, New York, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Let's see where else. Canton, Michigan, East Lansing, Michigan. Thank you so much. You literally tune in every day. I see you. I see you. I see you. Athens, Alabama, Sydney, New South Wales, Reading, Massachusetts, Bridgeton, Colorado, Austin, Texas, Colorado Springs. That's probably my friend Trevor, Braintree, Massachusetts. And no matter where you're listening from, I appreciate you so much. And if nobody told you today, I'm going to tell you, you are amazing. And thank you for doing the work that you are doing for children, for families, for your community. And also, I'd like to give you a shout out for investing in yourself. There's a lot of things you can be doing right now. You could be watching, Netflix, and you're not. You're here learning and growing with this community, and I appreciate it. And I learned so much from all of you as well. So let's get into it. I know I could gush on you guys all day long. Also, one more shout out to my girl, Becca. Becca, you are really, truly one of a kind. So keep doing what you're doing, girl. I see you every single day. So let's get into it. Let's get one thing straight, guys. If your leadership strategy starts and ends with you, you're doing it wrong. Leadership isn't about titles, it's about trust, it's about action and consistency. And if the only person in your program that's holding the vision for the center is the one with the keys, you have got a problem. So, today's episode, we are going to talk about what it really means to build leadership at every level in your childcare center, from the front door to the infant room to the kitchen. Because when everyone leads, the whole building wins. You know what? Here's what I want you to know. Leadership isn't positional, it's relational. It's a relationship. It's about how people show up in their roles, how they influence the culture, and how they handle the small, day-to-day moments that shape your center's identity. Here's how you do this. Here's the actionable steps, right? Because it sounds great. Okay, we know that part, right? We know the day-to-day is what's going to shape how people perceive us. So here's the action. Here's what I want you to do. Host a staff meeting and ask, what does leadership look like in our center? Chart the responses down and frame them as a behavior-based expectations, not job descriptions, but like, this is what it looks like to be a leader in our school. And spot the quiet leadership too. Start identifying folks who lead through kindness, consistency, and are calm under pressure, not just volume and visibility, because sometimes the loudest ones are not really the leaders. Ask yourself, or even better yet, ask your team, who would you follow if I wasn't here? Their answer will tell you who's quietly leading right now and who you should be coaching next. And sometimes it might be Miss Sally who's running the kitchen. She might be very organized, very detailed, very on task with compliance, making sure nobody gets sick, right? There might be some folks that you're not seeing because your eyes aren't open. You're not seeing because you're not seeing. So here's some things that you can do. Start a leadership is wall. Put sticky notes with real examples of leadership behaviors that you have seen around the center each week and build a collective awareness. Now, creating a culture of ownership is not just obedience. If your staff is always waiting for your permission, you've created a compliance culture, not a leadership culture. Now, of course, compliance is important, but if they're looking to every rule, every regulation, every person at the top for what to do next, they're not leading. They're following, but they're not leading. Ownership looks like action without being told, an initiative without being begged. So start with just some small things, some small micro decisions. Maybe you let your teachers choose their own classroom team norms, or let them tweak the schedule, or even pick the themes, right? We love to say, here are the themes, go ahead and plan. Let them pick the themes, let them pick the toys, let them, run the PTO meeting, because autonomy builds confidence. And I don't know about you, but I want to work with people who are competent and also confident. And using reflective supervision, I really love that. When you ask open-ended questions, you learn so much. Instead of asking a direct question, maybe you say something like, what do you think went well? Or what would you do differently? And please resist the urge to fix it for them. That was so hard for me my first 10 years. It's something that sometimes I still have to check myself. But at the end of the day, as long as you're trying to let them make their own mistakes, not be afraid to fail, not be afraid to try. Forget about fail. We got people who are afraid to try before we even know if they failed. So help your team. Do something. Maybe create a team-led task force. Maybe revamp transitions, plan your next staff retreat, or even improve parent communication. Don't lead it. Let them. Let them do it. Now, here's a real power move. If you're really brave, take your organizational chart that's for people's egos, rip it up. That's what I said. Rip it up. Rebrand your organization chart as a leadership system. Put every team member in a circular model, not this hierarchy. Everyone has a zone of influence. Make it visible. Because again, when you start talking about leadership, your TAs, your van drivers, your kitchen staff, yeah, sometimes even your lead teachers don't know that you're really talking to them. They need to see themselves as leaders, and it's your job to hold that mirror. So develop your leaderships. You don't have to promote someone to develop them. Not everyone wants a title. Not everyone needs a title. But everyone does need to be seen. They do need to be heard, and they definitely need to be invested in. So here are some things you can do. Use a strengths-based lens. Observe and document what each team member naturally excels in, and not just job tasks, but what they actually excel in. If you have somebody who's super bubbly and super fun, and your center is a fun place, maybe that's the person who does interviews or tours, right? If that's your culture, you want people to know right up front, this is what it's like to work with us. Then match them with roles, projects, or mentorships that align with their talents. Stop trying to do everything. You're not good at everything. So stop acting like you know it all. Build a leadership lab. Every month, run a 30-minute skill session. Decision making, classroom conflict, managing emotions, or how to even speak up at meetings. For someone like me who talks a lot, I have to take a class on how to be quiet at meetings because I can tend to take over. And some of you might be snickering, maybe one, because you know me, or two, because you do it too. But if we're always talking, no one else gets a chance. And so this is our opportunity as leaders to listen more, to talk less, and level up those assistants. Give your assistant teachers mini leads, whether it's running the circle time, end of the day wrap up, whatever it is, and check in weekly and reflect together. One of the things I really, really love to do, and I really encourage my team to do, is to use leadership journals. For each staff member, once a month, they can ask, like, what's one thing that you led for the month? And write it in the journal. Or one thing that I'm still growing on. Or who did I support that it made a difference? Because once you start having your team start to be reflective on the ways that they are leading, they will start to see themselves as leaders as well. And of course, we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate, but not just celebrate the overachievers. I need you to celebrate the under the radar excellence. The quiet consistency, the staying calm during a crisis, supporting those team members, speaking kindly to parents. To me, that's real leadership. And here's a great idea, because so many of you do these generic type of things, like teacher of the month. Like, create a peer nominated system, like leadership in action. Shout out, shared at staff meetings, and get rid of those like, I saw you notice the new toddler struggling and you stepped in before I even had to ask, right? Don't make them generic. Say exactly what you saw. That's leadership. Put it in writing. Feature your staffs instead of teacher of the week, do leader of the week. Do it in a newsletter, in an email, or your break room wall. And give 3 specific leadership compliments per week to people who do not have leadership titles. And watch how people start to step up for more. Because we tend to say good job to the people that we work with most, right? And if you're the owner of your school, that's typically your director or assistant director. You might not have a lot of interaction with the van driver or the kitchen staff or the office staff. Go find them and find some things that they're doing really great and thank them. So let's say this. We're not just talking about like the good vibe stuff. Let's be real. You can't expect your people to lead if the systems are a hot mess. No one leads confidently when the schedule's always changing, the ratios are wild, and the forms are outdated. So make sure that you have systems that reduce mental clutter so your people can actually lead from clarity. And delegate with documentation, because leadership isn't just passing the baton with no context. Like, use step-by-step guides, checklists, and shared folders. And use tools that align, whether it's a room with logs or behavior tracking or parent communication. Integrated platforms make leadership smoother. That's why we love Jackrabbit Care. They're not just a management system. They're a leadership ally. And when the back end runs smooth, your team can step up and shine without being buried in paperwork or chaos. So go check them out, because leading well starts with running well. And here's today's leadership challenge that I want to give you. I want you to identify one person in your building who is quietly killing it and tell them. Then find one area where you can stop bottlenecking and taking all of the weight there. Let someone else lead. You want to build leaders, and so do I. So you got to hand them the map. If today's episode's got you fired up, go drop us a 5-star review and help more leaders like you find this show. And if you want your team to lead with confidence, clarity, and care, then get them a system like Jackrabbit Care. You do your best work when your people are free to do theirs. So, see you next time, leaders, on the Childcare Director's Chair podcast.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.